Hello there. I am going to be talking about Saturn in retrograde in Sagittarius, which is going to start on the 14th. And I'm releasing this a little bit too late, but I just did not have time this week. I did do a blurb on my Facebook page to try to get everybody prepared for the energy that was coming. This Saturn retrograde will be in Sagittarius, and it will be opposing Gemini when it does go retrograde. So to give you a little bit of information about Saturn, Saturn is the planet of karma. When Saturn goes into retrograde, it is actually a double dose of karma. So if you have been really bad and you have not been serving others and you have been a self-indulgent person, be prepared to have Saturn go in and slap your hands, especially if you have any energy that is in Sagittarius or in Saturn. Say if you have anything in your chart that shows that you're heavily influenced by these two energies, then you will definitely be experiencing this to some degree. Now understand, you could be experiencing this as a trine or as an opposition or a square. It's important to know whether or not Saturn is squaring you in any way or whether it's trining you in any way. And you can find out all of this information if you go to cafeastrology.com. It is a free natal chart. It does offer a little bit of interpretations, but more importantly, it will give you the degrees of all your planets, as well as it will give you whether or not you're being trined or sextiled or opposed, or if you have a conjunction in these planets. And this is important to know when we're talking about these energies that move in to teach us, so that you know how they're going to affect you. Obviously, if you have a trine in this, then it could mean that you get a lot of blessings coming your way if you have been good to others. It is still the planet of karma. So say you have a trine, but you have been a person that is incredibly self-indulgent at the expense of others. You will still get a karmic lesson during this time frame. However, it may come in the dose of a blessing and open your eyes versus an opposition and an obstacle. So just look at it this way. If you were bad in any way and your karma comes back to face you, just know that you reap what you sow. As well as if you have been a selfless person, a good person, you've been working on yourself during these times that we have been going through these, all of this Pluto-Uranus square and all of the solar eclipse, and then we're going to go through the lunar eclipse. And mind you, a retrograde is about a 3-month cycle as far as in Saturn, because it's such a slow-moving planet, that you could be blessed for a really long time if you were doing good. If you were doing bad, you could have obstacles for 3 months. You could have Saturn in there pulling you back for 3 months and restraining your progress. So that would be unfortunate. It's really important to always keep in mind that karma does exist. It is very real. I do live by karma. I do believe highly in karma. So I just want to prepare you for whether you are good or bad. This particular retrograde is going to be in Sagittarius. And so Sagittarius, a little bit about what Sagittarius is about is they can tend to be ramblers. They're the great wanderers. And so Saturn is going to come in here and do the opposite of what genuinely the wiring of a Sagittarius is about. So instead of letting Sagittarius just wander about, it's going to ground you and make you root somewhere. Now, I did some of my forecast in the last couple months, and I noticed that was the trend of the universe anyway. Like in relationships, I noticed that some of you may have had significant relationships come into your life that may have made you think, wow, I could actually really set up my life with somebody. Relationships have dissolved, relationships have manifested in people's lives. So I noticed that the Sagittarius is feeling this energy anyway, so this isn't going to be a new energy for them. However, it will make Saturn will come in there and make them accountable for once to this relationship, that a Sagittarius may actually care enough about a relationship to want to be accountable and then adjust their lifestyles accordingly. And if they don't, and if they continue to go along and say they found a wonderful partner, but that partner, you know, they're still pulling their same old antics and being irresponsible with their partners, Saturn's going to go in there and hurt them. It's going to go in there and slap their hands and say, you know, you've got a great person here. This is the one that you've been waiting for. I'm going to make you care enough about this person so that you won't hurt this person, that you won't be so self-indulgent in this relationship, that you won't want to ramble off and wander off in this relationship. Saturn is think of what Saturn is. Saturn is a planet that is restrained by rings. Saturn likes to work within a specific criteria at all times. This is a very balanced planet. This isn't a planet that likes living on the fly. It's never going to go jump out of a plane. It's never going to go do anything kind of freestyle anything. It likes to plan everything out. It likes discipline. It likes a lot of determination to get to a goal. Now, Saturn is already in Sagittarius, and it has been in there since the beginning of the year. It transferred from Leo into Sagittarius. So you guys have already been feeling this energy of accountability in you. But this, however, is a different energy. This is asking you to go and look back at your past and be accountable for your past mistakes, your past flaws, your past routines in life that have not been ideal to get you ahead. Understand that Saturn likes us to progress. Not in a fast way, in a deliberate way that will manifest a new routine of doing things. They say that the average person, it takes them 30 days to break a habit. Saturn believes very much in that long-term breaking of a habit. It's not a short-term resolution. It's a long-term resolution. Another interesting thing about this Saturn in retrograde is that it's opposing Gemini. So I don't think Geminis are going to like this energy all that well either, because communication is our biggest asset, as well as Sagittarius are used to having a silver tongue and talking their way out of everything. Their tongue isn't going to work like it used to in either one in Gemini or in Sagittarius. So there's going to be more accountability for what you say, the words you use, how powerful those words impact others. It's going to be very, 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 very powerful for you. So I just want you to be aware of that as you're going into this energy, because, you know, we get caught in our routines and we go along and we think, well, we've just got all this game. And then Saturn goes in and changes our game. And that's what Saturn is all about. It's about making us evolve and manifest into our ideal selves, our authentic selves, the highest vibration of ourselves. This is not a time to start a business. You do not start a business when any planet is in retrograde, but especially Saturn. Saturn will create obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Now, let's say that you have been working on a business and you don't know where to take it. And that's just like in my situation. I didn't really see this going into a business. I see this making some YouTube videos, and eventually, you know, people would care enough about what I'm saying, and, you know, maybe I do some personal readings. Saturn is going to go ahead and go into my life, and it's going to restructure my business. It's a great time for going back in the past, and if you've been working really, really hard on a business, it's a great time to go back and reevaluate and fine-tune things and to elevate your life. And you can really tap into the Saturn energy to help guide you through the next level of where you want to take things. At its highest vibration. At its lowest vibration, it can create obstacles and make you see that where your business is weak, where it is not, where there are flaws in your business, where you could, you know, with partners, with anything, it can create a lot of drama in there, but that's also something that we must see. So Saturn is very beneficial in this area. Saturn in retrograde in Sagittarius is very much about the higher mind, very much about pulling inward and getting to the next level in our belief systems. If we, as a person, don't have strong characteristics, Saturn does not respect that. If you're living your life and just thinking about yourself, Saturn is going to confine your choices. And this could be through incarceration. This could be through a complete mental breakdown and you have to go into a hospital to get you back to normal. Saturn is about breaking you down in just about every way that it can to make you seek spirituality, and especially when it's in Sagittarius like this. So for all of those of you resisting any sort of spiritual realm, this may be difficult because you may have went through a lot of changes in March that made you say, okay, I need something to help me through this. And I've been noticing a lot of people are turning to astrology, a lot of people are turning to religion to try to make sense of everything that had just happened. Well, Saturn in retrograde is going to help us find those answers. It's a great energy to tap into. You have to think of obstacles as something that we must see. Specifically in Sagittarius, if you are involved in relationships and you are a dog in that relationship, I mean, come on, we all know the Sagittariuses are players. A lot of times they're big players. But once they fall in love and once their heart gets ignited in this area, they are completely loving and loyal and faithful partners and will provide for their family till the day they die. But it's getting them to that level. This is a great time to fine-tune old partnerships, old financial issues, and reevaluate them and restructure them and find a way to pay off old debt. But it's not a good time to, get into debt, take a loan. You don't want to do anything like that when any planet's in retrograde, but especially Saturn, because Saturn's just going to create a bunch of obstacles and make it 10 times more difficult for you to get ahead, because it's not wanting you to get ahead. It's wanting you to look back at your past and fine-tune things. Think about it like that. Tap into the energies when they're right. Even though we have all this Aries energy right now pushing us forward and wanting us to move ahead with all this gumption and all this, hopefully you've had these ideas in the past saying, a long time ago I was going to patent this product and I just forgot about it. Saturn will make you go back there and say, hey, this is a great time to think about patenting that product. It's a really good time. The market's right. Everything's right. This is great initiation. You've been doing all the right work. You have the credit now to get that loan. This is a great time for that. Just hold off don't get the loan until after this 3-month cycle, but really fine tune that business, get a good business plan going, and then launch it forward in 3 months. If it's a past project, say this is a business that's been going on for some time and you just can't get it to that level, Saturn is going to remove obstacles if you have been working yourself in your highest vibration. If you've been self-indulgent and working in your lowest vibration, then Saturn isn't so beneficial. Saturn will just create obstacle after obstacle and tear you down until you get a clue that you're the problem and not everybody else. Luck is one of the coolest things about being a Sagittarius, because they have the planet of Jupiter as their ruler. And so they just are lucky people. It just seems like gambling, they always win. It just seems like no matter what bad thing happens to them, they're just resilient. Jupiter is turning direct in April 8th, but if you have been working at your lowest vibration and you have been a self-indulgent person, Jupiter is not going to benefit you the way that it normally would, because Saturn will restrict Jupiter's blessings. Now, it will hold those blessings in a little corner and keep them there for you until you begin to perform at your highest vibration. If you have been working at your highest vibration, with Saturn in retrograde, revisiting your past, say that you started this business like I did in months, like way a long time ago, like almost a year ago, and I never really initiated anything with it. And now, I've been working in my highest vibration and I've been serving others as Saturn in my 12th house wants. It's going to make that cascade off. It's going to team up with Jupiter and it's going to remove the obstacles in my life and it's going to give me all the tools to move forward. So that is Saturn in retrograde in Sagittarius opposing Gemini. At the end of the cycle, Saturn will turn direct in Scorpio again. So we'll have that. Remember how we went through all of the lessons when Saturn was in Scorpio? We're going to revisit that right at the very end, right before it turns direct. We're going to go through that little, hey, remember what you did over here? Karma's coming back to bite you in the butt there, right there. So just know that we're going to be experiencing a lot of karmic lessons. We do have a lot going our way. We do have a lot of positive energies coming, so don't let this energy scare you. Just know that if you're working in your highest vibration, it could feel like you just won the jackpot. You won the lottery. If you've been working at your lowest vibration, then I'm sorry to say karma's going to come back and kick you in the butt, and I think you deserve it because you shouldn't have been so self-indulgent. Anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful Saturn retrograde, and just know that Saturn is out there to help us and benefit us in the long run. This is a planet that looks a lot further down the line than even we understand, and so any karmic lesson, any lesson that you get during this retrograde, if it is a harsh obstacle or it is an opposition to you, just know it's a character builder, and you've only got 3 months to go through the school, so just sit down, pay attention in class, and do all the homework, and learn everything you can learn, so when Saturn comes back around again, it gives you exactly what you deserve as far as helping you excel in life.